Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to y'all as the Big D. And this time around, I bring to you another review in the Jumanji franchise, and it is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle from 2017. Directed by Jake Kasdan, Chris McKenna, Eric Summers, Scott Rosenberg, and Jeff Pinkner, based on the story of Jumanji. Well, sort of, based on. And it's based on a story by Chris McKenna. It's the third installment of Jumanji after Zathura, which came out 12 years before this, but it's a direct sequel to the 1995 movie Jumanji, which of course based on the children's book of the same name by Chris Van Allsburg. Anyway, now it does pay homage to the original movie by mentioning Robin Williams, who passed away a few years ago, by mentioning his character's name, and also a replica of the actual board game piece used by his character also appears as a clue for the game's new players. The film stars Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, Nick Jonas, and Bobby Cannavale. Anyway, now, I actually did go see this movie when it came out. Anyway, we started out at the very ending of the original Jumanji in 1996, where after we see a couple of girls running by, and a teenager is soon given the Jumanji board game by his father. Yes, after he'd been in the river for 27 years. Yeah, 27 years before that, if you might recall. But uninterested, Alex sets the game aside, and that night it transforms into a video game cartridge, which catches his attention. But when he is awakened by the Jumanji drum beat, when he begins playing it, he disappears into the game. Yeah. Now, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to stop this video. If you've not seen this movie, you need to see it. I'd recommend this movie, so you better stop this video before I go on, because I'm going to give most of this away. Here we go, 5 seconds. Okay, now then we focus 20 years later, when 4 students at Brantford High School are given a detention. They are Spencer Gilpin and his former best friend Anthony Johnson, Fridge, he calls him, due to Spencer's doing his homework, Fridge's that is, Bethany Walker for calling her friend in class and talking back to her teacher, and Martha Capley for insulting her coach and refusing to participate in PE. So their detention was to remove staples from all sorts of magazines in the basement. But soon they found the video game system, and Fridge and Spencer decided to play along. Although it had 5 playable characters, they were unable to unlock one of them. So they choose 2 others and convince the girls to play along. So when they begin, all 4 of them get sucked into the video game, and they are now in the world of Jumanji. Anyways, Spencer is now Dr. Smolder Bravestone, a strong, confident archaeologist, explorer, and the leader of this here team who has no weaknesses. That's Dwayne Johnson's character. Fridge's avatar is Franklin, though he thought it was moose, but it was Mouse, the nickname Finbar, a diminutive zoologist and weapons carrier who has a weakness to cake. Martha's avatar is Ruby Roundhouse, a commando with talents in martial arts dancing but has a weakness to venom. Unfortunately, Bethany is in for a rude awakening when her avatar turns out to be Professor Shelley Oberon, but it was short for Sheldon. That's Jack Black's character. A cartographer, archaeologist, and paleontologist, whose weakness is a lack of endurance. Anyway, once they are in there, the fun begins. Wow. They soon learn they have like a tattoo on their arms. 3 bars, and this represented their lives. Well, I'm really not, like I said, I'm not trying not to give too much of this. But I will tell you, they do lose lives. Now, Bethany immediately loses one after being eaten by a hippo. If they lost all 3, they actually die in real life. So, they learn the game's story from the non-playable character Nigel Billingsley. Let me see now. Who is played by Rhys Darby. Now, corrupt archaeologist Russell Van Pelt, who I believe is, well, like a descendant of Van Pelt from the first movie, sold the Jaguar's eye. Now, this Van Pelt is played by Bobby Cannavale. Anyway, the Jaguar's eye is a magic jewel from its shrine, which was taken from its shrine, and it became possessed by its power, which placed all the jungle animals under his control, cursing the world of Jumanji. So Nigel escaped Van Pelt with the jewel, and the players must return to the Jaguar statue to lift the curse and call Jumanji to leave the game, warning them that Van Pelt will stop at nothing to retrieve the jewel. So first off, they retrieve a message from a missing piece of a map that Nigel gives them from a bazaar. They're attacked by Van Pelt's men, and they're rescued by Alex. That's Nick Jonas' character. Yes, you heard me correctly, as in Nick Jonas of the Jonas Brothers. I was rather surprised he was in that. I didn't know they actually had a Jonas brother in this. Oh, anyway, let's see now. Oh, yes. Now I remember. Well, in his avatar was the pilot, the character they couldn't get to pick, Jefferson Seaplane McDonough, taking shelter in a jungle house that was built by, can you believe it, Alan Parrish. Yes, Robin Williams' character from the first Jumanji. After having already lost 2 lives, Alex believes that he has been in the game for a few months and is distressed to learn that it has really been 20 years, as a matter of fact. So they vow to return home, but soon with Martha as Ruby's little cool moves to get past the guards at a transportation shed, which I think that's one of my favorite moments from this movie. They commandeer a helicopter, but Fridge accidentally drops a jewel into a herd of albino rhinoceroses. But Spencer sacrifices one of his lives by pushing him out of the helicopter as a distraction and retrieves the jewel. But Alex loses his last life when a mosquito bites him, but Bethany as Shelley performs CPR and transfers her second life to him. So they arrive at their path leading to the statue. They're surrounded by a pack of jaguars and Van Pelt's goons. They outmaneuver their opposition while Spencer and Martha race for the statue. So Van Pelt confronts Martha and demands the jewel, but she purposely gets a snake to buy her because venom is her weakness. allowing her to respawn and to get the jewel to Spencer, and he does. They end the game on their last life. Destroying Van Pelt once and for all and saving the world of Jumanji. And then they return as their normal selves after saying farewell to Nigel and shaking hand. Well, touch his hand anyway to get Zap back. And return to the school basement, but without Alex. They find his home, which looked really bad from the beginning, restored and decorated for a Christmas family gathering. And they encounter an adult version of Alex, having returned to 1996 when the game ended. Now married with children, he reveals he named his eldest daughter after Bethany out of gratitude for her saving his life. And so the four have officially become friends after their experiences in the game. Spencer and Fridge have reconciled. Bethany has begun caring for others more than herself and plans a summer will during this backpacking adventure. And as for Martha and Spencer, they have become romantically involved. But just at that moment, they hear the Jumanji drums again, but Fridge destroys the console with a bowling ball to prevent anyone from playing it. And that's how the story goes. If you watch this without seeing this movie, you were warned. But again, I have the DVD of this, and I love it. I just finished watching it. I just thought I'd watch it before I do the review of this. I would highly, again, if you have seen this or have yet to see this, I highly recommend you get this. I think you'll love this even more. Well, maybe not even more. You don't have to take my word for it. But I think you'll enjoy this a little more than the original Jumanji. Now, this movie was a surprise sleeper hit, despite it opening up against Star Wars The Last Jedi a couple of years ago. However, after it opened in second place right behind it, I believe, it soon surpassed Star Wars and held at the number one for over a month going into 2018. And this movie spent more weeks longer than any other at the box office. Over 3 big months. It spent 13 weeks overall in the top 10, making that the next highest selling movie, sort of overrated, in the top 10 since Frozen. Now, let me see. Now, in the real world, playing the young Spencer is Alex Wolff, whom that same year this came out was in the horror flick Hereditary, which I have yet to see, but I'll see what I can do. I might watch it, maybe. Playing the young Bethany is Madison Iseman, Sir Darius Blaine as the young Fridge, and Morgan Turner as the young Martha. Anyway, playing the teenage version of Alex is, well, the 1996 Alex is Mason Guccione, and the grown-up Alex is played by Colin Hanks. Yeah. Anyway, I was really impressed with Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. It was definitely a great movie. The story was great. The cast was great. The effects were so cool and they were awesome and all that jazz. Again, this would be a definite recommendation for everyone. Now, although unlike the original Jumanji and Zathura, this got a PG-13 rating. So, anyway, I think this is worth watching. I know it's still currently playing on Movie Channel Stars, but it should be coming to TV soon, so be prepared for it. I think you're going to love Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. Anyway, that'll do it for my review. Be on the lookout for a review of the brand new one, Jumanji, The Next Level, which happens to be opening tomorrow, but I'll be seeing it this weekend. So be on the lookout for a review of it, possibly on this Saturday, even though I am reviewing a certain horror franchise that time. But I will squeeze it in there eventually. Anyway, please feel free to tell me what you thought about Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle. In the comments section, like and subscribe to my channel and be a part of the Big D Nation. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Now, if you would like to see if you want to catch up on some other reviews, up here, check out my review for Jumanji, and down there for my review of Zathura. And if you want to see my review of one of the recent overrated type movie, click up there to see my review of Frozen. And down there will be for my channel if you have not subscribed to it, or if you'd like to check it out and see all my other videos and other playlists. So, thank you again for watching. Oh, and I almost forgot, the subtitle for this was named after one of my absolute favorite songs from Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Great song. You'll actually hear that in the end credits as well. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.